Hi, I'm John Byrne with Poets and Quants. We are here to talk about the entrepreneurial roots of ESCP Business School. And with me to do that is Francesco Radolino, who is the Executive Vice President and Dean of Academic Affairs and Student Experience. You have something called the Blue Factory. What does it do?
Blue Factory is our incubators. It started more than 20 years ago. A group of professors of the school decided to allocate it to students that they wanted to launch their own startup and they needed a space. It developed quite well in France, in Paris first, and then recently we completed the deployment in all our 5 campuses, mostly supporting the entrepreneurial ideas or venture coming from our students, but we're also open to entrepreneurs that are not alumni or students of the school. And this is quite important because we are a business school, but normally for a startup, for a new venture, you also need engineers and different competencies.
Sure, absolutely. Now, entrepreneurship is nothing new to the school because it was founded by French entrepreneurs in the 1800s.
Yeah, Jean-Baptiste, yes. It was the economist that actually came up with the production factor of the entrepreneur, you know? And then on one end, and on the other end, there was Vita Roux, who was an entrepreneur himself. So together, practice and theory. Here is ESCP, and later, the Blue Factory.
So is there a particular approach to teaching entrepreneurship at ESCP?
At the beginning, I think we went through the usual way to teach entrepreneurship, but quite quickly we developed a unique approach, which we call it art thinking. If you think about an artist is always thinking out of the rules. Otherwise, it wouldn't be innovative. Same thing is for an entrepreneur. It needs to find new way to satisfy existing needs or new needs. What we brought to this methodology is the rigor of management methodologies to the creation of something that does not exist, to the creation of an artistic product. So we brought a method to something that normally must be outside the rules.
And entrepreneurial thinking is not merely a way to do a startup, it's a way to operate in an existing business, right?
Yeah, in that case, it's called intrapreneurship. So it's like the entrepreneurial approach to an existing business. And we do both. We actually teach our managers that come and attend our executive MBA the same methodology that we teach to our younger students that are interested in launching their own startup. To foster innovation, you need really to have an entrepreneurial approach.
Now, do you have professors teach entrepreneurship or entrepreneurs?
Both. We have entrepreneur, we have professor, and with the art thinking methodology, we also have artists teaching entrepreneurship.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah. Because design thinking is a very good way to brainstorm, in fact.
Yes, exactly. In our case is art thinking, so we go even a little bit farther than the design thinking methodology.
And is interest in entrepreneurship growing in Europe?
Yes, a lot, especially in France. France invested massively in entrepreneurship, in venture capital. It is not comparable to the investments that you have here in the US, but the interest is growing everywhere.
Now, there are people in the US who would say to someone who wants to start a business, why don't you use the money you would spend on your tuition just to start your business? Why would you go to school? But it's clear that if you go to school, you will find a lot of support. You may even find money to invest. You'll find partners. You'll be able to battle test your idea and minimize the risk. Are those the elements that make you think that practicing entrepreneurship in an incubator like Blue Factory is a safe environment to start out?
University is not exactly just what you learn in class, which is important, but I think it's more important what you learn outside the class. And there you have the experience of working with other students. At ESCP is the experience of doing this in different countries, building a network that goes far beyond the boundaries in terms of geographical boundaries, but also personal boundaries. And this is key to entrepreneurship because entrepreneurship is overcoming problems, barriers. An entrepreneur's might have a good idea, but not the resources. Might have a product, but not the channel to sell it. And being in a community, it's helping you overcoming the shortage of resources.
Right, very true. Francesco, thank you.
Thank you, John.
Okay, that's entrepreneurship at ESCP Business School. Check out the Blue Factory if you're interested in actually creating something new and different and exciting. This is John Byrne with Poets and Quants.